Sarah Elizabeth Foster, also known as Liddie, was born in Michigan in 1859. Liddie was the eldest of Charles and Anne's 5 children. Charles and Anne wanted to provide a better life for their children. Charles had left his family behind in England when he was 21. His parents didn't even bid him farewell, as they felt it was just an irresponsible wild adventure. Anne also came from England with her family at age 14. She had 10 siblings, and so had to go to work as household help. She was shocked to learn that even in America, she was considered a servant and not allowed to eat with the family. She asked once to be allowed to use a small stool to rest her feet as she worked in the kitchen, and was met with so much disapproval that she would from then on work through the pain. Anne suffered with severe foot pain for the rest of her life, and would gently coax her children and grandchildren to sit down to peel potatoes and rest their feet. So to provide that better future, Charles and Anne decided to homestead and moved, along with baby Liddie, to Maple Grove Township in Michigan. They had barely settled in when their second child, a boy they called Charles, was born. There were years of much hard work and very little money. But by the time Liddie was about 11, the family was able to finish a nice, roomy home. The home is still standing, and while I don't have any pictures of it, I can show you the location. Liddie was 17 when she married Albert Safford, age 21. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a portrait of Albert. Liddie and Albert had 5 children: Ida Mae, Floyd, George, Ernest, and Oscar. By 4 years into their marriage, they had moved to the Idaho frontier. They then moved to Utah for a short time, and afterwards returned to Idaho. Tragically, in 1890, just 5 days before their 13th anniversary, Albert died. I couldn't locate any records or newspaper articles providing a reason for his death. The following year, Liddie remarried. Thomas Bingham and Liddie had 3 sons together: Charles, pictured here, John, and Thomas. Thomas and Liddie divorced sometime between 1900 and 1907. In January 1907, she married Frank Jones, but that marriage was very short-lived, as she remarried again in November 1908 to William Spears, and that marriage also ended in divorce. After burying 1 husband and divorcing 3, Liddie spent the last decade of her life single, and she resumed using the last name Bingham. She died in 1918 of pneumonia during the Great Influenza pandemic at age 59. Thomas claimed her remains and provided for her burial. Thank you for learning about Liddie's life with me.